Oh my god.
Baddies.
Pose forum. Ass fat, slim thick, no tummy. Boom, boom, boom.
Did you just fat shame me?
I said you have a fat ass. What about it?
Guys, see, like, he wants me so bad. Like,
Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 9.
I'm running out of fingers.
Woo, we're at number 9. Everybody wiggle a little 9 in the air. Woo! Yes, 9. It's crazy. If you are just now introduced to our podcast, welcome.
Well,
Definitely join our little community, our little family. Follow us on all the socials. Anxiety After Hours, of course, everything will be linked below. But how are you doing, Coley?
I'm doing swell.
Swell. Ooh, okay, vocabulary.
Doing swell.
I love it.
Divine.
Divine.
I'm just in a good mood. But
Oh.
don't ask me last week or the week before that. It was rotting. It was really bad.
She said.
I'm back on my. That's because I'm on my meds. I'm sorry. Like,
She's back on her meds, you
I
guys.
got my
Which leads to our next sponsor. No, just kidding. Not yet. Okay. Okay, guys. So I have my little journal. And so if you see me looking down a lot, it's because I have this episode planned.
or else he'll stutter.
Oh, unless I'll stutter and I'll be like, what's the podcast about? Like, I
And
don't
I'll
know.
be embarrassed and I'll have to actually.
And then I'm going to make her think. Okay, so my first little icebreaker to just start the episode is if you could describe your mental state in one word, what would it be? Think about it.
I would say unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Ooh, elaborate. Like, why?
Like, not that my moods are unpredictable. I
Mhm.
could get a good grasp, like, when I need more help on days than I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think unpredictable because I learned new things about what I'm dealing with
Mm-hmm.
every time I deal with it. Like, it could be the same routine, the same thing, but I'm learning a new thing about it. And it's like, it throws me off or puts me back on track where I need to be. But, like, it's like a roller coaster, not linear with the growth or anything. Like,
Yeah. It's like kind of
don't
all
know.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's actually a really good way to describe, like, I don't know, like, I feel like my mental state in the same way, but, like, I would label it healing.
healing, I love it.
Because
I love it.
kind of the same concept how you said, like, your mind goes, like, you think differently about, like, the same thing that happened to you kind of, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at now. But, like, I've noticed, like, there's a lot of things that, like, I'll face and it could be, like, overwhelming for a second. And then I really think about it and being like, I've, like, grown so much. Like, I would have thought completely different, like, a year ago. But, like, now I feel more aligned and, like, in tune
Yeah.
with how I'm actually thinking. Like, even when I'm overwhelmed, I'm, like, letting myself do that, which is really crazy. Like, of course, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't want to feel this way. But, like, I allow myself to do it. And I'm, like, actually low-key okay with it. Like, you know what I mean?
I personally know when I'm about to have an anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of reaching for my, like, propanol that slows down my heart rate and everything, I'm just like, literally, girl, like, it's going to be so rough, like, during this period. And then, like, learn to do this, breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, just knowing the coping mechanisms.
Yes.
But also, as of late, like, I've been kind of, like, sweeping things under the rug mentally. But then I've been trying to, like, get out of that before it becomes a habit and I snowball. Because that's
Yeah.
what usually happens.
Mm-hmm. Like, it kind of all builds up.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Nicole, like, right now, kind of numb to everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
feel something. Whether
Yeah.
it's happiness, confusion, sadness, whatever.
Mhm.
But, like, I don't know. Just let it out.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I agree with that because how you were kind of saying, like, if trying to get yourself out of that habit, I think it's really important to get yourself out of that just for the sake of, like, you know, once, because you never know, like, because you just kind of push everything under the rug and then there comes a point where it's like the last thing can set you off and it's like, and a point in your life where you're like, I should have, like, thought about something differently, or like I should have done
Yeah.
this in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. My thought just kind of
It's kind of like the final straw type of thing.
No, exactly. Okay, so the next question is kind of fun since it's October, so it's spooky season.
It's like the second week of October.
I know, it's second week, which is
Halloween
crazy.
coming up.
Yeah, Halloween.
We have to have our costumes in like 2 weeks if we want to dress up.
I know, you're right. Okay, but we'll talk about it after this.
Yeah.
Okay, but this one's just like kind of fun. But like, what's your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie,
Mhm.
anything from either the Chucky franchise or the Halloween franchise. Because why is Michael Myers kind of
So,
like, he's just so consistent.
yeah.
He's so consistent. He's just like introverted black cat energy. Just kidding, guys. Do not romanticize psycho killers.
Please don't. I was just saying. I was like, maybe
Don't.
this is too much.
So, like,
Kidding.
actually, do not romanticize psycho. But no, I actually do enjoy the franchises, though.
Yes.
in
No,
reality.
I love it. I think my favorite scary movie series is literally, or like, it's just the scary movie series.
Yeah.
Like those
So
movies
funny.
are so
funny.
funny. Like I was watching the third one the other day with.
That's like my
yes.
favorite one.
Oh my god, it was so funny. Like because I haven't watched that one in like years. Like I remember the last time I watched it, I was like in middle school, so like I don't really remember. It's so funny. I can't
John
get over it.
Floor, if that were to release this day and age.
That would be crazy. Like they'd be like canceled, like,
But I'd still buy my ticket to watch it.
and I'd be tuning in.
I should make a new one.
It's and then okay, so if not that one, I think maybe my second one would probably be the Halloween Town series.
Oh, yeah.
I love a good Halloween Town. Like those ones just bring me so much comfort. Just because like Disney Channel in those days, like
Yeah, like Twitches.
Twitches, yes, like Disney Channel originals. Like those Halloween movies really like they hold a special place in my heart.
Remember, like, during Halloween, they have, like, Spooktober. Like, so Disney Channel Halloween, like, everything's Halloween related.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that. Now
I-
it's just streaming services and you have to, like, do it yourself.
Literally, like exactly, like I miss. They literally made the vibe. Like
Yeah, they literally set the mood, which is why it's so chaotic nowadays, because everyone has
Yeah.
to set their own mood,
yeah,
their
it's
own
like
liking.
and it's so like not as fun. Like, do you remember? Did you ever watch ABC Family?
Yeah, and Nickelodeon and Disney
Yes,
XD.
yes. No, but my favorite was in ABC Family during Halloween time. They would like show 31 like movies until Halloween.
And they also did that for Christmas.
And then they did that for Christmas, and it's so fun because they really get you in the mood because that's always playing like every day. So it's like in your
Yeah.
face, which is
Then
I love
everyone
it.
became fun suckers and then just decided,
Yes.
like, we're too good for cable. Like, we could do something more advanced. Bye. Like, now life is shit. But I'll say right now,
No.
frustrated.
We're all mad. No, but
Sorry, like, I didn't expect myself to feel so passionately about
no, I love it. I do miss like I wonder if there's any way we can bring that back in one way. or
There is
another.
probably still cable out there. It's just not good shows anymore.
I know, and cable I think is like really expensive now, which is weird because it's like, babes, like of course I'm gonna get the subscription.
Yeah.
like
Like,
it's gonna add up to the same thing.
like low-key valid for having, like, 7 specific subscriptions on cable.
Yeah,
Like, low-key.
just because you can watch it whenever, like
Yeah.
for real.
Ugh,
But
cable, like,
I just wish, yeah, because I feel like that's why we were so like connected because like that was like that's the only way to really watch TV or like having things. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like YouTube obviously was big, but I feel like that wasn't really on like your TV type of thing.
yeah, and then Blockbuster, Redbox. It was like,
That's
okay,
everything.
yeah, and then I'm bored. So you just do something other than watch TV.
Yeah, like literally, like, I kind of miss when I used to just like be so excited for like the countdown. It's like 20 more minutes and then Twitch is gonna be on. Like we'd be
Yeah.
so excited to get like popcorn ready. Like I remember my mom would like let us like stay up late for like when these movies would come out. Like because our bedtime when I was little, my bedtime was 7:30 p.m. every day on the sharp. Like we were in bed, night routine done 7:30. It was still light outside, and we'd
It's
be like,
still his night routine, y'all.
I don't know, like look.
At 7:30, I'm
Stuck
just
with
like,
me, like I
gotta go to bed.
I'm literally like, sorry guys, like hey. But yeah, so it was kind of crazy. Like so I think also that's why I have this like special memory with it of being like, you gotta stay up late. Like everyone was,
It was like a treat.
excited. It was a treat. Like it was so good.
Oh.
I miss it.
Yeah, it was like around this time, and they had like the McDonald's like themed toys, like the little plastic buckets that they said you could use for trick or treating. But let's be real, that
Yeah.
didn't carry anything.
Yeah, like I had to get like a whole pillowcase. Like
Use
that
a
was
backpack.
my used a backpack. Ooh, you get it, girl.
But you know what my mom? This is so janksy. My
Huh.
family would do.
What?
We would go trick or treating,
Uh-huh.
and anytime we got candy, we would put it in a pillowcase that my parents would hold.
Uh-huh.
So, like, it's late at night, it's dark. People think we're not getting candy. Like, people think we're just starting to go trick or treating. So they'd feel bad. So they'd pour us a lot of candy. So, like, we don't have to stay out too late.
Oh my god. Wait, what? Your parents are so iconic for that. I actually love that. Did you ever do this? Like, this is a little side story, but I remember, like, after I was going trick-or-treating, like, my siblings and I, we would, like, pull all our candy out on the floor. We would look at what we have, take inventory. We would start trading.
Yeah.
You guys ever do that? Yeah, like, we would trade being like, okay, I'll give you 2 M&M bags for that Skittles. Like,
Yeah,
things like that. So fun.
My parents would be like, rack them up, and like we would take the candy we didn't like, and it'd be sent to the Philippines. I feel so bad. Like they got all the shitty candy. Like,
they got all like the Tootsie Rolls.
yeah, like the little jawbreaker.
The jawbreakers.
Or like not branded.
I know. Oh my god, that's so.
Dots. Why were those a thing?
Yeah, like, do you like dots? Like, that's like actually you'll get to know someone a lot if they say, yeah, I like dots. You're like,
what that mouth do? Like, it's strong. They're like smoldering all the time. They're like,
shoot, maybe you do gotta get someone that likes that. So we got mail. Do you guys hear that? Yeah, we got some mail, and this mail is actually coming from our little fish bowl. So we have a little advice that we're going to answer today. Let's see what it is. Okay. This question is, how do I manage anxiety when it feels all-consuming?
ooh. So, Hunty and I were actually just discussing like depression and stuff, but I feel like anxiety feels not the same, but like you get the vibe. Like it'll be like the same boat on how to manage in a way. Because depression, anxiety, like, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I was diagnosed with both. I mean, I'm still diagnosed with it. So like, I feel like I could have a say in this.
Yes.
Plus, it's my podcast with Hunty. Like, I can do what I want. Anyway,
she's trying to validate it.
I'm like, trying to validate myself. Like, what?
It's okay, girl. We're on your side, right, guys? Everyone in the comments is just like, fuck that bitch in the red sweater.
She don't know what she's talking about. She don't know real depression.
Okay, let me hear.
No, but like, it feels like you're drowning. And like, I was reading this book and it literally described it perfectly. Like, you are drowning in air. What was that? Is that the light?
The light smell.
Oh my god, my back kind of hurts. Like, it gave an impact. I think we need like new chairs.
The like whole site goes down. We're like,
I need to talk to your insurance, Hunty. Like, that was unsafe.
Do we got renter's insurance for this video?
Anyways, yeah, like, it just feels like you're drowning in air. And like, you know, I've had drowning experiences too, so I'm valid for this. When you're drowning, no one fucking knows. No one sees you're physically drowning. And it's the worst feeling. Like, you're dying and withering away in front of people. And like, you want to reach out for help, but you can't. You're like,
yeah, it's like you're stuck.
And you could barely see. Like, you could hear people, but like, you're just trying to chase the noise. Like, where is it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like, you know? So when you are depressed and anxious, like, you just want to reach out and grab for help, or like, just be so angry at someone for not seeing you struggle. Yeah. Like, they should know, right? It feels like they should know. Like, they're my family. They should. But no, like, literally relax. Like, if you relax in water, you're going to float.
No, dead ass. She said literally relax.
Just relax.
No, real.
Like, shut down really quick and just
take a moment for yourself.
Take a couple deep breaths and just continue swimming.
Just keep swimming. No, yes. And then I feel like adding on to like basically everything you're saying. So like in the Inside Out 2 movie, you know, when she like has like her like panic attack, like anxiety is like, she becomes like out of control.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot when you do have anxiety, like when you have unhealthy coping mechanisms. And I think that's why having like a healthy, like kind of like activities or like multiple things to do when you are feeling really anxious is super important. Like finding ways to relax is kind of like the main thing, because I feel like when you feel like your anxiety is like consuming your like entire life, it's scary because it feels like this is just like how life is forever. Like you just feel kind of like so stuck and you feel like you don't have any control of getting yourself out of that. And like you said, like you feel like you're drowning, like you're reaching out for help, but like you can't reach out for help type of thing, where it's just like it's a whole like in your head game. And that's how I feel like happens a lot for me. And then like being able to, I guess, manage it is really just thinking about the healthy coping mechanisms. So like for me, it's definitely like saying no. Like that's like a coping mechanism in its own for me. It's just saying no and just like relaxing and like bed rotting. Like I know that's not like the healthiest thing to do, but it helps sometimes. Like for me, it helps me like I feel like I can go longer after that, being like, okay,
Yeah.
I just need this time for myself. And when my thoughts are like really consuming me, like rather it be from like work, just anything in life, I need to just like take time to just take a step back and relax. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's kind of like, because I was saying like relax.
Yeah.
Easier said than fucking done.
Totally.
Like,
it totally is.
We'll get back to that in a little bit. But if you're currently struggling with a panic attack, don't think like it's a panic attack. Like, you have to step back. Like, you have to muster the strength to step back and disconnect from yourself and be like, I am not panicking. Like, that's why this coping mechanism with like finding your senses. So I'm going to get the senses mixed up, but you'll get the gist. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can like feel or touch, 3 things you can hear, and then 2 things you can taste, and then 1 thing you can smell, or something like that.
Yeah.
It could be flipped, like the hearing, smelling, and everything.
Yeah.
But that literally saved me so many panic attacks because 1, I wasn't spiraling. Like, I wasn't thinking of myself panic. I wasn't like going deeper.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, like those types of things where you like find out symptoms like, oh my God, upper respiratory infection. Someone tells you that. It's just a cold, but like it sounds so severe, you think it's like worse than it is. Type of thing.
Oh my gosh, no, I completely agree. And that little technique, the like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of like your senses has helped me too. Like that's Coley started putting me on, and I feel like it just helps you like be present and like gets your brain to like turn off those thoughts and just be like, where am I at right now?
Yeah.
Like what's happening like right now? Like let me focus on the present moment.
And if you are at that like state of anxiety, like you could tell something is about to happen, something's about to snowball. Before the ball gets rolling, try some 4-4-8 breathing. So you inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, exhale for 8. Do that 3 times and then just analyze like, okay, how am I feeling right now? This and that. And depending on what your answer is, try it again and again.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Yes. Breath work in general is such a great tool that we can tap into, and it's really easy to do, like those little exercises, like just like counting your breaths, or you could even do like guided ones on YouTube or like whatever works for you, of course. But just the matter of it is just like slowing down. Like when you are feeling like really anxious about everything happening in your life, slow down, relax. And that's why having these mechanisms, like coping mechanisms, will really help you take a step back, you know? So just start finding things that work for you. Like when you are feeling really overwhelmed with life, just kind of trial and error. Like see if like meditating works for you, see if breath work works for you, see if journaling works for you. Maybe all of them work for you, or like just like figuring out like what's best. So then, you know, later on down the line, when you're going through a really stressful week or like something catastrophic happens in your life, like being able to use those coping mechanisms can like save you a lot of like hardship on like your like self and like your, I don't know, all of the above.
Yeah. And some like these could work for depression and like depressive episodes, but we'll touch base with that on another episode.
Yeah.
This is more so on anxiety. Yeah. And like if you're struggling long-term anxiety and like you're just, it's putting you in a rut, like you're not having a current panic attack, like you're just anxious, I would try new hobbies. Try to air new hobbies. You might not like the one you're currently starting. Try a new one. You know, some hobbies are free. Some cost a little money. You might have to budget a little bit. But like there are a lot of different hobbies. And especially if you are like on TikTok and social media, like you will see people starting running clubs together. You will see people start like, you will start on your For You page with like a certain community. Like if you're watching all crochet videos, you're going to be on Crochet Talk.
Yeah.
What got me, like what helped me with my social anxiety was reading. Just the idea like I'm panicking right now, but let me just read a book, clock in as a different character and just tune out this world while I'm standing in line looking awkward, like I'm reading a book, or like while I'm just doing something instead of focusing around
like what's happening.
Yeah, like if people are looking at me, judging me, I'm just like head in a book. Like I'm distracting myself.
Yeah, like girl, I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm in a new world.
Like let me lock into this. Like
no, yeah, I love that. That's actually, I feel like it's something that is so coolly coded, and I love that. Okay, well, that's kind of our advice on that. So again, if you are feeling like your anxiety is kind of over consuming you, take a step back, relax, and start figuring out ways to slow down.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, so now I think it's time for a little cigarette break. Yeah. So this one's kind of fun. I was just gonna ask you, Coley, who are 3 people you truly admire and why? And it can't be someone you know. Like it just has to be like someone like, I don't know.
Okay.
I can think of.
Okay. So I'm gonna do it in like 3 categories.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll do like an influencer, just yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone who I admire, like their brain, like their knowledge, and then someone just solely based on looks. Like I don't care what they did, this that. Like if they have any cancel culture attached to them, like just judging on their appearance, like physical beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So influencer wise, I would say probably someone like Emma Chamberlain. Like she set like the stage for everyone.
Yeah.
Like I
really
feel
did.
like if it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be a lot of influencers that have the success they do right now. Like she got the
Yes.
ball rolling. She was up there. Like she knew what she wanted and she got it.
I agree. I think Emma Chamberlain, it's actually really crazy. I feel like she was like the first influencer a lot of people like our age like truly admired. Like actually
Yeah.
just, like Emma Chamberlain coded. Like
She came out with like her own style,
yeah, like it
her own
definitely
trademark, which she turned into a company.
that was really smart and iconic, and I love that business idea.
Yeah. Like instead of just having their own like merch line or something, like she has coffee companies, so she'll attract customers that they don't really care if they like her, like they'll like her coffee.
Yeah. And even the people that do love her, it's just like, oh my God, of course Emma made a like coffee brand because she drinks coffee in every video. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So
I love it. I love her.
one of the influencers, and then one of the knowledge. I love Albert Einstein. I was reading about him in a book, and I was just like, wow, like he's just one of like the most freest people ever. Like I don't even know if that's grammatically correct, but he was just so free, like so insane, so genius, and like he just made a huge difference in the world. What the fuck? Like
I
will we get that again soon? I don't know.
did that. I know. I love that. I love
Like,
Albert Einstein.
It just really inspired me to just get into a deeper level of thinking.
Yeah.
There was also this quote by him that I really liked.
Oh my gosh. Wait, let me hear.
What was it?
She said, too much work.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's your third one, though?
Paul Mescal. So beautiful. So beautiful.
Paul Mescal.
But he's the reason why I don't like Gracie Abrams.
Oh, wait.
Because they're like, I think like TTF, or they're just in a relationship. I'm just kidding. I'm happy for them, but I just love Paul Mescal.
She's like, he's mine.
I know.
Away from my man.
But yeah, he's just...
No period. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I'm like thinking about Paul Mescal. I'm like,
She's like,
silent.
stop.
I'm like,
Why is she
Jesus.
blushing? No, wait, no, I love it.
Fine specimen.
I wrote 3 down because I wanted to make sure I was prepared for this one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one that I truly admire is Louis Castro. I just honestly recently got into his YouTube videos, and I I just feel so safe with him. Like
Yeah.
I don't like he doesn't even know me. I really don't know him. But like from his videos and everything, I admire him because he's always himself around everyone. Like in every video that I've like seen, like he's always like seems like he's Louis. Like when you see like someone like on and off camera,
They
and they're-
clock into a persona.
yeah, exactly, which a lot of people do on social media because that's like what gets views, you know.
Yeah.
But I just like he's just always himself. Like he's very like crazy, and like I like learned to really admire that because I think there was like a side of me for so long that like didn't want to be like that crazy self because it's like I don't know how I'd be perceived. But it's like when you're like look at people in the media that are themselves like unapologetically and they're just doing it for them because this is their life. I'm like, oh, I really admire that because I feel like so many of us are so scared.
I love when like people just do things they're passionate about just because they're passionate about. Like not everyone can start a merch line or a podcast or a YouTube channel, but like those who really want it and just chase it, like respect. It's not like we're doing this to compete with people and like get a huge following and like, you know, but like we're just doing this because we love yapping.
I love yapping, and I love the idea of like the safe space that we can create in the internet for people.
Yeah, and I love running a business. Like the idea
Yeah, I
of
know.
business meetings about this.
We're entrepreneurs.
Yeah, like we have goals, aspirations. Like we literally treat it like a business, but like it's a whole production just to vet ourselves out.
We put a lot of work into this, and that's why I think we're so overly like passionate about all these things that we
Yeah.
talk about. It's just because it's like truly like I love it.
We want to make sure the work is out there and it's good. Like, we're not
Exactly.
just half-assing it just to talk on camera about ourselves.
Exactly.
24/7.
And I think the thing about Coley and I is we kind of never really half-ass things. We really just like, oh, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna just do all of it. Like,
Yeah.
first, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, yeah. So Louis Castro is my first one. The second one, I actually don't know his name, but he's this guy on TikTok, and he helps a lot of people in like third world countries, and like basically creates businesses for them, like something that they can run. So for example, like, I think there was a girl in rather like Thailand or one of those, I think, countries in like Eastern Asia. Basically, they like started this whole like what was it? She lived in like a house that was really, really small, and she had like a baby and she had a husband, like, and like I think her like parents lived with her too, and it was like very, very small and minimal. And one of her dreams, like I guess the whole community like knew she had this dream of starting a laundromat business, which people in America, I feel like we take a lot of these things that we have for granted, and it was like it's really eye opening for me, like the privilege that we have to just like I don't know.
Laundry at home.
Yeah, exactly. And so they basically created, like, they funded money. They told her story, they funded money, and they got her, like, a laundromat, and it's, like, all in her name. Like,
That's
and so
amazing.
not only is she, like, making consistent income now, but, like, she also, I think they built a house for her, too. Like, they did, like, a both type of thing. And, yeah, and, like, things like, he does a lot of videos like that, and I really admire it because it's, like, he chose to do a job that not most people would do because, like, sometimes it could be really like sad or like really just like, I don't know, you could be nervous doing that type of work just because it's like you never want to intrude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
like,
feel like that's something that
especially the wording.
Yeah, like the wording. I'd always want to make sure that like I don't know. I want to get into that one day.
Yeah, like
I-
accepting help, giving
Mhm.
help. Yeah.
Exactly. And like being able to, what is it called? I don't know the right word, but I know like a lot of like celebrities that do have money, like Selena Gomez, like she'll go out and do this like type of like line of work. It's a job. I don't know what it's called.
Is it like charity or
Not
like non-profit
Yeah, like it's like a nonprofit. There's like a name for it. I'm forgetting it. But
foundation?
starting foundation. I really don't even know. Like it's like
Well,
ending up.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually.
She's all naming things. I'm like, yeah, but like not that. Like, I'm like getting nervous. I'm like sweating.
Like,
No, but
oh my goodness.
I really don't know what it's called. But anyways, I really admire
Yeah, that's
like
amazing.
stepping out and doing that because, you know, a lot of people that don't have the opportunity, sometimes you really like, they're stuck in these situations, but you just give them one chance. And a lot of them, it's actually really interesting. A lot of them will be like, I've been praying for this. Like, this is something that I've been like wanting. In my eyes, it's like definitely like leads to like, finally when you accept the help, like you just learn to like let go and just kind of accept help. I feel like good things come
Yeah.
to you. I don't know. I think it's definitely like, for me, it's like a whole manifestation thing like in the background. But I think it's really interesting that like a lot of them were like, I've been like really like wanting this and like I've envisioned this. And it's like, wow, like they're low-key manifestors.
I want to one day have the opportunity to be able to help a mass amount of people without like, because so far, like I can only do what I can without like, I don't know, putting myself in a smaller position. I don't know how to describe it, but like I can only do so much with like my
Resources.
income or like my resources. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of resources to help as many people, like, or as much as I can afford personally.
Exactly. I know, and that's just definitely something that I feel like Coley, if you don't know us, Coley and I are very passionate about just like nonprofits and like things like that, of being able to give back, because ultimately like I feel like we're both the type of people, if we win, we want to see you win too.
Yeah.
You know, like that type of mentality. And I'm just excited for the one day where we get to like give back and be the ones that are like really taking like the ownership of being like, I have so much to be grateful for, and I want you to feel grateful for like everything you have, or I want you to feel like you love your life, or like sometimes you just need that like humanity in this world. And yeah, I want to be a part of that. Yeah. Okay. And then my last one is Alex Kosani.
Who's that again?
Oh my god. Okay, Alex Kosani.
Let me go. Your phone is right there.
Feel me. Alex Kosani. You know who Alex Kosani is. She's also very true to herself. She is so like.
Oh,
Alex
yes.
Kosani.
Doesn't she follow you on Instagram?
TikTok.
on TikTok.
Son of work. See, she had to say, I
You're
didn't say
cheating.
nothing.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but I truly admire her. And I think my favorite thing about like her type of content is number one, like she knows herself. She's so confident. She's not afraid to be who's like she is. Like she literally walks around the streets of New York singing, screaming, everyone's staring. She don't care.
Videos.
Yeah, she don't care. Like she's just doing her, and that's something that I admire because people take life too seriously. A lot of people take life too seriously, and I feel like she's the type of person where like you could just sit down with her and be like, forget about like life and just like enjoy, you know what I mean? Like just like being in the moment and just like laughing. I don't know. So I really admire her.
I've like subjected myself to like sitting in this box. Like this is how I have to act in order to like earn this. So like if I were to do something, like I love anyone who does that because like they're confident, they love like they love themselves. Like why would you hate on them?
Yeah.
But like for me, I feel like if I were to do that, I would be my biggest hater. I would be judging myself so hard for no reason. Like someone probably wouldn't even care. Like you'd probably respect if I did something like that. But for me, I'm just like,
it's like, it's totally a battle.
Like, girl, what are you doing? But then I don't know. It's all about the confidence you deliver with it, and I just want to have that type of confidence, and not like in a backhanded way, like genuinely.
I think you will. I think we have honestly untapped a lot. I feel like our personality has been more like just like like literally, and just like I'm excited to see who we continue to become. Even like I've noticed like at work, like sometimes before I used to try to be like too professional or like just try to like I don't know like not talk about myself a little bit more. But now I'll be like talking to my coworkers and I'll be like, girl, that's tea. Or like something like that. Then like it's like so random, but like I feel like I'm being myself. Like it's just like fun. Like I'm taking life less seriously when I'm myself.
Yeah, I had a coworker who started off and was like, these are just coworkers. Like I'm not gonna hang out with them outside of work. And I'm like, okay, but they're my friends now too. So you're my friend. And then like we all became friends and like we hung out outside of work. And like we could laugh and just like he could still keep work professional, but like on the side we can giggle. Like we're there for a while.
Yeah, so like, might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, like have everyone around you smiling, giggling too.
Exactly.
And just connect with everyone instead of like
and like being just like professional. Yeah, because it's not as fun that way. Like you want to enjoy going to work. So that's a little quick tip. Of course, know who's around you.
Yeah.
Like be professional. Read the room. Definitely be professional. You got to be professional. But like if you get the chance to just like be crazy and be your Gen Z self, then do it. Period.
Just vote. Just vote.
Just vote, y'all. Just vote. Okay, so we now have our last segment of today's episode. And this is just diving deep into shallow waters. So we're just going to go kind of basically get as deep as we can on this shallow topic. Okay, well, it's not really shallow. I feel like you can get like deep into this one. But this one is, when you deal with change, how do you cope?
Ooh.
Yeah. How do you cope, Coley?
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's different changes, like one that affects you daily or one that's like catastrophic.
Explain both.
So like catastrophic is like moving or like a loss of an important family member.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, just something that will alter your life a little bit.
Yeah, alters your brain chemistry.
Yeah. And I feel like with that one, it's really hard because a lot of times the examples I'm thinking of, they all have to do with grief. But like grief is such a crazy thing. Like we'll dive deep into that topic.
Grief another day.
But there's so many ways people deal with grief. And with catastrophic changes, I think it kind of ties back to, I don't know if we talked about last episode or this episode. You just really have to like anchor yourself. Like if you are a people pleaser, if you are like really empathetic towards other people, you could lose yourself. And these types of things with catastrophic changes, you could lose yourself with that too.
Yeah.
Like I could be a different person if I refuse to move states.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to stay in Alaska versus Washington, like I could have been like a total brat and just like got with the wrong crowd just to defy my parents. Like I could have totally lost myself.
Yeah.
But like there are other things too, like grief. Like you could lose yourself in grief. Like you have to anchor yourself. You have to know what you want. You have to know how to take care of yourself, how to practice self-love so you don't fall deep into like depressive episodes or just lose yourself to like the insane.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. I think I think my favorite thing about what you said was like about like anchoring yourself. I think that's something I really resonate with too, of like when I'm dealing with change, because I feel like, obviously there's like the daily change, like you said, and then there's the catastrophic change where it's like literally alters your brain chemistry. I think kind of the best way to cope is really just like, there's obviously, it really just depends on the situation, and you're going to cope with whatever is happening like differently in every, case scenario. But I think with like the minor things for me, how I cope is just kind of just being really aware, like self-aware about how I'm feeling, like really checking in, being like, oh, okay, like, yeah, that one kind of hurt, but like, why do I feel this way? Like, let's maybe like think about it a little more. And sometimes I'll do that with like journaling, and I actually like to do just like talking out loud. Like sometimes when I'm doing like my night routine or morning routine, when I'm like by myself, because like, I'll just like talk out loud about like, how do I feel about this? Like, low-key I'm sad, or like being like that. And like, that's kind of a way where I can feel like I'm like coping with like things happening. It's just like talking about it, or even just like talking with like you. I feel like that's like actually a really big thing for me, is like when I do have something going on, talk with your best friends. Like sometimes like you just need like no advice or anything. You just need them to be like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, I feel like that's also really healthy, and like that's one of the best things that I do, I guess, really with coping, is talking out loud. Yeah.
And if you are like someone that is like, you struggle with being more self-aware, or just like analyzing or catching yourself early on before a lot of change happens, and like, I don't know, before you spiral a little bit, if that resonates with you, you should have like a constant.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a furry friend, it could be your best friend. Hunty and I, like, we are both people that we find ourselves very self-aware, like very in tune with our mental health, like knowing when we need self-care, because we've learned a lot and we've grown a lot from it. Totally. But there was a time like last week and the week before, like we were struggling, and it didn't click, or like it didn't feel right until we saw each other and talked things through.
Literally, like, I feel like I was so like down bad. Like we were kind of like pushing, we were gonna film, like life obviously happened, and then like we were like going through our own little things, and then as soon as we like saw each other, it was literally last week. Like it literally was like, it just like, okay, like things are like, I feel okay again. Like I feel like I'm kind of like, I just needed to talk about it with someone that like is a constant, like someone I know that's gonna be there, and like I kind of like just like, they won't judge me for feeling this way or whatever, you know what I mean? And then like once we like talked about it,
the ball was rolling.
Yeah, the ball was rolling, and suddenly like that like change that like was happening at that time, like everything just kind of figured itself out. I was like, okay, like I just needed to talk about it, and now I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like when you're in a fit of anxiety, like a panic attack, you think about it too much where you're spiraling more. You're like, oh my God, I'm panicking. Like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I still can't breathe, And like change, it's like, okay, well, sit down, anchor yourself, look around. What can you control? What can't you control? Things you can control, what do you want to happen? And like, how are you going to get there? Things you can't control? Okay, but how are you going to react to it?
I think something that like with the like in control and like out of control type of thing, it gets me thinking about like how a lot of us will like be really anxious and hyper fixated on like upcoming events. And like, for example, like say you have this big change coming, and like it's not even until like a month away, and then like we allow ourselves to continue to like be really anxious about it, rather it be like a test or like anything. But like you shouldn't feel like really anxious about it until the thing is happening. And even then, when the like actual event is happening, a lot of the time we're not like super as anxious that we like anticipated, you know what I mean? And that just got me to thinking of like, there's a lot of the time where like if things are out of your control, like if the change is out of your control, like it's not worth like making yourself feel like insane about, or like making your thoughts be so negative and like making them consume you in like an unhealthy way. Like really focus on like what you can control and what you can't, and then just go from there.
Yeah, most likely if you focus on things you can control, either one, the things you can't control that you were worrying about will fade away into the background. Two, it will like change based on like the decisions you can control. They can change what the outcome will look like, and it will be something you won't expect. Or three, like it just won't work, but it'll distract you.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the best way that I really cope with change, is just really talking it through, and then just really focusing, like you said, on what you can and you can't control.
Yeah.
Because once you focus on what you can control, sometimes you could even take like action. And sometimes that alleviates all the stress of being like, oh, well, I can just do this. And all of a sudden everything's fixed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, whoa, like it's really important to just like really like, I don't know, think about it a little bit more clearly of like what you actually can control in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, period. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We are so grateful. Definitely follow us on all our platforms, Anxiety After Hours. Links are going to be in the bio. And I said this last episode, but I just want to say it again. On all our social media platforms, we kind of post a little bit differently, which is why you should follow all of them, because we offer a little bit of value in different ways.
I feel like our different platforms really reflect on the different segments we have.
Yeah, totally. I definitely agree. So like, you just really, honestly, you're just going to have to follow to see what we post.
Yeah, just see what we're talking about, to see what the hype's about.
See what we're all about.
Yeah.
But anyways, love you guys. Don't forget to give us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
please.
Free stars up.
Free stars. Leave. No, but we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next time. Bye.